Metroidvanias have gained more and more popularity over the past few years. Games like Hollow Knight, the Ori series, Salt and Sanctuary and others have helped this subgenre to grow. So it's no surprise that more and more titles are being released every month. Not many of these games gain massive popularity like Hollow Knight and are often overlooked, despite being awesome. Islets is one of those cases. A game that seemingly no one talks about, although it's a solid contender of being one of the best metroidvanias of the year. In Islets you play Aiko, a voiceless protagonist that is a cat? A rabbit? A mouse? I'm really not sure, but it actually doesn't matter. Aiko lives in a world that has practically been ripped apart into 5 small islands. Your task is to visit each of the islands and activate the core to reconnect the 5 islands. And basically this is it story-wise. And that's totally fine. This game doesn't need a complex story because it does a great job with presenting a beautiful world and quirky characters. I quickly fell in love with the art style that manages to look simple on the one side and incredibly detailed in the design of the different biomes and well thought out on the other side. On your journey in this pretty world, you meet a few characters, each with a unique personality and some really fun dialogue. Or actually it's always a monologue because Aiko doesn't talk, but it's fun anyway. You meet this one guy over and over again who always brags about how great he is and what a loser Aiko allegedly is. These short encounters are funny and well placed to help you understand this fantastical world more and give you a minute to breathe between combat and exploring. Equipped with a sword and a bow, you fight your way through enemies in a true Metroidvania fashion. Encounters start off easy and later become a bit more challenging. Especially the boss fights towards the end of the game are tough, but with a few attempts I managed to defeat every one of them without feeling frustration for a single second. That's because save points are always next to the boss room, you respawn quickly and bosses always have a clear attack pattern. It is fun and extremely satisfying to figure out these patterns and defeat your enemy with the tools you have. During your journey, you upgrade Aiko with new abilities like a sword dive attack and new options for movement like the mandatory double jump and the possibility to climb up walls. All these options make movement in Islets pretty fast, responsive, smooth and mostly satisfying. After a few hours with the game, my movement became so fluid that for the first time I thought, yeah, maybe I can speedrun this game sometime. Of course, I won't because my orientation leaves much to be desired. Luckily, you have a map and you can fast travel from portal to portal, which makes progression through the game a really motivating experience. Besides the big upgrades like the double jump and what I mentioned a minute ago, you can find smaller upgrades in the world by collecting these Aiko icons. These smaller upgrades further enhance your health, the amount of arrows you can shoot, and even some of your movement options will be modified, like shooting a projectile when you double jump. Interestingly, these upgrades give you an option when you collect them, and you can choose one of 3 upgrades. That seems to be heavily inspired by recent roguelikes and roguelite games. This is a nice touch because the 3 different upgrade options you get are random, and I think this increases the replay value of Islets a lot. In my first playthrough, I tried to maintain a balance between upgrading my health and all the other cool abilities. In my second run, I probably won't increase my health at all and focus more on altering my abilities. Speaking of the small upgrades, you can find those in the whole world. Some are hidden behind walls and some you get by completing a puzzle. These puzzles require you to use your movement perfectly and are always a nice extra between combat and exploring. The puzzles are rarely challenging, but I think this is perfect because this is a fast game. You want to move on quickly, don't get frustrated and also be rewarded as fast as you can. That leads me to the one thing that I thought was a pity. After about 7 hours I saw the credits. Yes, this makes it a streamlined experience and for a game that costs under €20, 7 hours is totally fine. I just wish I had 1 or 2 more islands to explore, more items to find and conversations with these cute characters. That only says that I enjoyed my time with Islets a lot. Islets is an overlooked Metroidvania that deserves more attention. Movement feels absolutely great through the whole playthrough and boss fights were creative, satisfying and most importantly fun. The only thing that left me a bit disappointed was the short playtime. But with a great replay value, this is a small drawback. And honestly, sometimes we all just need a short game, right? Thanks for watching. Have you played Islets yet? What is your favorite Metroidvania? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more reviews of upcoming games, and leave a like if you enjoyed this review. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.